2018. That was a painful year. Why do you ask? Because that was the year when Netflix decided to cancel Daredevil. Now, there was a lot of reasons why. Well, mainly because Disney was buying everything from Fox. But now today, 7 years later, we are born again. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Matt Murdock finds himself on a collision course with Wilson Fisk when their past identities begin to emerge. This is a huge deal for the MCU because the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been in a ebbs and flow kind of season where a lot of people will say Marvel sucks, Marvel's back, Marvel sucks, Marvel is so back, and I'm tired of hearing that. I'm just taking this universe for what it is, and it's a mess. You can't deny it. It is a mess. But you also cannot deny the highlights like a Deadpool and Wolverine, and then a Secret Invasion. What the hell is even that? And I would like to say that Daredevil Born Again, in simple terms, is one of the best things in the MCU post-Endgame era. I refuse to believe that a tragedy had to destroy everything. That is a line from Matt Murdock in this current new season. I believe that line embodies the entirety of what Season 4, Daredevil Born Again, is all about. From the very first frame, as the lens starts to open up and you see a building in front of you, montage sequences of the city life, friends, the light, the darkness, the gritty side of New York City. It's like that one friend that you haven't seen in 7 years. And all of a sudden you start having a conversation and it's like you never missed a single beat. That's exactly what the directors here do for us in throwing us back into this world that it clearly has been a long time, but it just washes over you the minute you pop it on. Most importantly for this series, it has to have a reason to be existing. There has to be a reason why we are continuing the journey of Matt Murdock's Daredevil. Why is even Kingpin back? Why is the Punisher here? And there's a reason for all of that. And it's not just a cash grab. It's not just nostalgia bait. There is an actual purpose in what they're doing to bring everybody's storylines together. Especially for Matt's journey, what it means to be a hero, a vigilante, and where is that line? Born Again takes that question and throws it upon Matt and says, what are you gonna do with all that anger? Best of all, the writers, the directors remember what's the most important aspect for a show like this. The characters. Let me just say it again 2 more times, the characters, the characters. That's what makes the investment of time worth it. Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, known for their work on Moon Knight and other mind-bending projects, put these characters in really tough situations while also balancing the crime life of Hell's Kitchen and even now the political aspect. But okay, Joseph, can we talk about the one thing that a lot of people love, and that's the action, the violence, the blood. Is it the same level? Is it on par with the Netflix quality? Yeah. Yes! Come on! For the most part it is, especially in the first couple episodes. Then in the final one, it is an explosion. Bloody goodness, provided by characters that I will not say, spoilers, that it's worth the wait for. Bones get broken, blood splatters everywhere. The classic Daredevil wonder in its first episode. The moment you get started on this series, guys, I'm going to be very personally pissed off if you say, nah, didn't hook me. It immediately sets the tone for the rest of the season, reminding us why this world is so compelling. It's like, I don't want to say that show because I think that show would give it away in what I'm trying to say, but it's like a show where everything is kind of unexpected. And that is what Daredevil was like between seasons 1 through 3. You really didn't know what character's journey was how it was gonna end up. And they still keep that same vibe intact, especially with the violence, where violence and your actions, they have consequences, and the writers and the directors and how they execute those violent scenes never forget about that. They never forget about the reality of, hey, when you're fighting like 5 dudes or you're fighting someone for a couple minutes, you're gonna get a little bit tired. So all those people worried about, are they gonna still have that same kind of concept where Daredevil was fighting in the hallway scene and he's like, yes. One concern that I had in my mind was this grounded series that's so built in reality. How is it going to fit into something that is a massive, large, and kind of ridiculous cinematic universe like the MCU? They handle it really well. Moments that might have come across a little bit jarring don't at all. I get it. They have to make sure that they remind us, the audience, that this is a part of the MCU, that we have to mention this kind of character or this story element or have a cameo appearance happen. It never overshadows the story of Matt and Kingpin. Though I believe some people will deem a certain episode as a filler, don't care. I could have this character show up for an entire season, every episode. This person could eat dinner with Daredevil, and I would applaud them every time they would go and do that sequence. The MCU connection, the grounded, bloody realism of Daredevil mixed in now with the MCU, the wackiness of that, there's no issues there. Vincent and Moorhead have a certain kind of flavor in their storytelling, and I would call that loopy. I never thought that style would genuinely work for a show like this, for the character of Daredevil, but I was wrong. From the moment this show started, I immediately just shut my mouth and said, never mind, continue. The creative takes on Matt's heightened senses are wild. The way the frame expands or diminishes makes you feel like you're a part of that journey where he can start to listen to a conversation hundreds of feet away. You get to have that same feeling too on a visual level. It just elevates something that was already great that we had in the first 3 seasons. It adds another layer to the storytelling in a way that feels fresh, but still true to what we love. It never wavers away and tries to say, hey, we're doing something a lot different and better. It still respects the past. Most importantly, with a series like this, you have the violence, you have the darkness, you have the grit, you have the crime drama aspect, but you also need to have the court drama. And they deliver. This season heavily involves politics, specifically a storyline where Mr. Fisk wants to be mayor of New York. And talk about timing. Having a man known for having a really scandalous past, trying to bring in a new era for their community. Yet again, I'll leave it there. This season also includes new threats and heroes. We have White Tiger, played by Camar de los Reyes, who tragically passed away in 2023, and I hope you get compelled and moved by his performance the way that I was. Truly a remarkable performance, and it's a shame that we don't get to see him again. One who is deeply tied in Matt Murdock's court arc. He humanizes this character beautifully, making it even more heartbreaking that we're just not gonna see him again. The best way to put Matt Murdock's journey is with one word: tragedy. He's no longer Daredevil, and he's searching for purpose and finds it in a law firm. Crime is ramping up. Mr. Fisk is now the mayor of New York City, so Matt is in a position of a moral crossroads. Does he step up or let Hell's Kitchen go into chaos? The defining moment, the reason why he's even in this position, is a brutal one, and one that you will not forget. I believe it is one of the best core moments for this character, maybe one of the greatest openings for a Disney Plus show. No, actually, it is the greatest opening for a Disney Plus show. And we're talking about the heroes, so we gotta talk about the villains, and there are a couple in this season. Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, Muse, and Bullseye. With Kingpin's return, it feels like a force hitting the city. Vincent D'Onofrio has not missed a single thing with this character. He's been championing for this role for years. He's been craving to come back, and you see the efforts pay off. Obviously in moments like Hawkeye and even Echo, the show sucked, but here, I'm not saying it's his best performance as Kingpin, but it rivals some of the stuff that we've seen in the other seasons. He's intimidating, powerful, and an atmosphere changer. He's still the same monster we knew, but now he's got a new position. He's trying to be a better person, to make the city a better place. Vanessa. That was a horrible impersonation, but I just love trying to talk like Fisk. He's attempting to reinvent his public image, but deep down we all know he just wants power. He wants to be in control. He wants it his way. It's only a matter of time before he breaks, and when he does, it gets really damn bloody. And to add to the complexity of this character already, we have the lovely Vanessa returning for this season. And their dynamic is actually a lot different than I expected. Fisk wants to be the good guy, and Vanessa, she's in a position of, you've been gone for so long, I've had to run this business without your help. So she is more so focusing on the business side of things, as in their original work, what started him on the roadmap to success. One of the biggest highlights for me personally in season 3, arguably still the best season of Daredevil out of all 4 seasons, is the character of Bullseye. Remember that end credit scene that happened 7 years ago? Yeah, we finally get to have that paid off. Without giving too much away, they blow the doors wide open for Bullseye's involvement, taking risks that even for Marvel is kind of a big deal. And this thing is probably going to divide the fan base, but it's about execution. If it feels earned narratively for the character's journey, it doesn't really matter at that point because it's all about the characters. While Fisk plays the long game and Bullseye just creates chaos, and he's part of a larger scheme really, there's Muse, who's unpredictable, unhinged, violent, and just plain crazy. The build-up for this character I found to be the most intriguing part. As each episode went on, I wanted to find out more. Why is this person doing all of this? What is their end game? However, I'll admit the way his arc concludes, I found a bit abrupt, where you finally get some more information about who this person is and why they do what they do. It's said and then it just sort of ends. And I'm not saying it was a horrible ending. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in the MCU. No, it just, I think maybe my expectations were Muse is going to be a part of this season and he's going to be such an integral aspect to the story. And that might be my own fault. I had my expectations and they weren't met to that quality. I still had a good time every single time there was an appearance of this character, especially when Daredevil gets involved. I just found it to be a little short-handed at the end. Now, you've seen him in the trailer. He's the talk of the town. He's pretty much perfectly cast in this role. Frank Castle, John Bernthal. And here's the thing. It's not just fan service. He is there for a reason. I got worried for a moment. The first scene that he shows up on, I said, please don't let this just be the only thing, and that's it. It was just for that moment to be like, hey, typical MCU cameo. No. He still is an integral part, maybe not in the way that you would think, but he is still there and he's still a presence that is felt throughout this season. And I cannot wait for his spin-off special Marvel presentation thing that he's co-writing. It's gonna be awesome. The way his story weaves into Matt's is compelling and completely earned. The part that makes their dynamic so unique is their approach to justice, revenge, retribution, where one has a line and the other crosses over that line all the time. And they don't miss that here. They still keep that as a central figure. Nothing ever changes between their arcs, where they may agree to a certain point, but there is always that tension where if you cross this line, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to hurt you, my friend. Now, this isn't a perfect show. I already mentioned I had some issues, but one that I'm getting tired of saying over and over again, specifically when talking about MCU movies and Disney Plus series, the moment that I say CGI background, it takes me out of the experience. When I see a Daredevil, when I see Matt Murdock flying in the middle of the night, and I can clearly tell that's not Charlie Cox, that is animation. That is not a real human being on top of that building. It does take you out of that wild ride that you want to experience. But luckily, this show is not a heavily CGI'd show. Those moments happen few far in between. Overall, Daredevil Born Again is exactly what the MCU needed. Grounded, bloody, brutal, and emotional. It explores how tragedy defines us, for better or worse. If you're ready for a journey where you have to let old things die to be truly born again, okay, I'll stop. This might redeem your MCU experience. Guys, I'm not lying. I love this series, and it's so cool to say that Daredevil is back. I heard that season 2 is already greenlit, and they're already filming it this year. They might even be filming it right now, and it's gonna come out next year. Praise! Let me know your thoughts. Are you enjoying the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again? Let me know down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but most importantly, do not forget to be blessed.